What's going on, everybody? This is SafeWord.
You know what's up, y'all.
Learning and teaching, learning, and opening the eyes of our audience to the world of kink, BDSM, and relationships. All right, so you know what it is. I am your host, Mr. Kane Marcos.
And I am your other host, Aurora Storm.
And you know who it is, your co-host, Miss Sasha Lyncher.
So, in our last video, if you watched our last video, we brought you a fun little, like, all acted out, you know, like little kids playing in a toy box.
What do we have here?
Right. And we did this because much like a kid in a candy shop or a toy box, right? To find your tool play, you need to have that childlike wonder. But if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then I suggest that you go watch that video. And the link to that video, our emails, business inquiries, our website, and all of our social media outlets will be in the description box below.
And, you know, while you're here, you might as well become a deviant. Go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe button for more educational content on kink, BDSM, and relationships.
I swear we're going to have a shirt that says relationships with the hands and just sparkles, because that was Sasha's thing. She added it and we all just come to the chocolate mountain.
A shirt with spirit fingers and glitter.
Yes,
the hands are right.
Exactly. So, first things first. Okay, first things first. We need to say hello to our A1 since day one, Mr. Roy. So, can everybody at the SafeWord crew please say hello to our favorite fan? Hey, Roy.
Hey, Roy. What's up?
Hi.
Oh, where's my boy, Blue? What happened?
What up, Roy?
I know, we'll do it for you. You're my boy, Blue.
You're my boy, Blue.
All right, so we give Roy a shout out every freaking live because he rocks with us on every video, every live. He's part of the Patreon. He be joining the OnlyFans. This boy be rocking it hardcore. So if you want to know how to get your shout out, then you need to reach out to Roy or just join us for a dang live.
Reach out. Hit him with the reach out.
Reach out and touch. All right. So let's get into this. This is SafeWord. And here on SafeWord, we have a SafeWord of the day. We use this SafeWord to stop, halt, and completely put a pause on all topic of conversation. So, SafeWord crew, would we like to let everybody know what the SafeWord of the day is? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Toy.
So here at SafeWord, we use Zoom, and sometimes there is audio issues, you know, because the box is around. I know. And sometimes we can't hear somebody say the safe word of the day. So crew, what do we do to let everybody know? Hey, I'm saying the safe word, shut the hell up. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Pow. Okay, throw up that symbol. Make sure you say the safe word of the day, which is toy, so that everybody knows what it is. All right, Mr. K. Marcos, do we have Miss Sasha?
Hot topics.
Woo! All right.
And
a snort.
Why, yes, we do.
Thank you.
Hold up. Before you go into fucking hot topics, real quick. Roy said, Kane cheating on me. Lol, got another bromance. You don't have another bromance. Kane, don't say it's true. Do you have another bromance?
Did we really shit on the hot topics so we could discuss this? Or?
We gotta placate to our fans. Come on now. All right, go
it's
ahead.
Okay, Roy. We can't never replace you. You know, you irreplaceable. You know, we can give you 10 songs to name you, but not tonight. We're gonna go on the hot topics.
Hot topics. Get it, boy.
Hot topics.
All right. So I got a couple of things tonight. One of these articles I actually sent to the ladies. I think they're planning on doing a hot girl pop-up. And so with me here, we get to discuss something that, you know, I can actually talk about knowledgeably.
Oh, okay.
So you can kind of guess why one of these articles went to the ladies. So this is an article titled, "We Ask 10 Embarrassing Male Sex Questions So You Don't Have to."
Ooh, I like this. Let's see where this is going.
All right. So this is all geared towards, guys who have a couple of questions, might be a little embarrassed. I know a lot of dudes, you won't go to the doctor for shit. So you'll live with something busted, broken, and, you'll walk with a limp before you go and, get aspirin from a doctor. So good on you, bro. Good on you.
Suffering silent.
That sounds
not silent, just whine in public.
Ingenious. You guys are great.
Wait, can I ask a question? You're a male. Do you not go to the doctor?
No, I actually might have a brain tumor, and you know what? Like, I'll either learn ESP
I rebuke
or
that in Jesus' name.
be outie.
Don't say that.
We'll figure
So that
out.
sounds like a yes. You ignore yourself sometimes. I know I sometimes
self-love.
do.
Join
Until I'm
goddess
about
training.
to die.
And I threw my back out, and I was so bad that I couldn't even sit in the
need a
car to go to the
backiotomy?
chiropractor. So I just like chilled at home for 3 days until finally somebody was like, "Have you gotten up?" Like, "Nah, not really." Like, "All right, let's go." Like,
oh Jesus!
I have to get dragged, so I will not voluntarily go.
So you're the typical male. Okay, go ahead. This story's about you.
Okay. Talking to yourself. Okay. So
All right,
what is it?
First question, and I know a lot of guys have, encountered this, maybe gotten worried, maybe thought something was wrong, but you still didn't go to the damn doctor. But question number 1, is it normal to feel something in your testicles or scrotum? Yes, it is.
I was like, I don't know. I don't have any.
I was about to say yes. There's like
Okay, well, we have more viewers than just ladies, so this is.
I mean, I know what it is, but I don't want to take the shine. I'm gonna let Brother Kane.
If y'all, like I said, I sent you girls the article of 8 female sex questions that you girls can, hot topic or hot girl pop up all night long.
Kane does research. I love it.
All night. But the answer is yes, it is completely normal to feel small bumps, lumps, and slight irregularities in there. The key to proper health is you have to kind of keep track of it. If they start growing, if they start multiplying at a rate that you're not really comfortable or familiar with, then that's when you want to go in and get looked at. But as long as you're keeping a good healthy monitor of what you got going on down there, 9 out of 10 times it's nothing to worry about. Yes, ma'am.
So I have a question. So is it a lot like testing for breast cancer where you have to do like the circular tests, that kind of thing? Like, how would you do you know how you would go about checking to see if it's different even?
All right. So the same way that a lot of guys know how to scratch their balls, it's not actually, just, going at it in a claw-like fashion. What you do is you grab the skin and you roll it in between your fingers. That's how you satiate an itch on your scrotum.
Okay.
It goes along the same lines as checking for irregular lumps. I mean, you got 2 in there and they're pretty normal. If you got 3, cool, what on you? But if you feel any small lumps and they start causing you pain, discomfort, if they start becoming discolored, or if you start feeling that they are breaking or separating apart when you give any kind of slight pressure, that might be a sign that it's time to go see a doctor, because that could be a serious medical condition. I'm telling you dudes right now, if you have something like that, do not try to, stay a stud in the game. Go get that looked at so you can still be in the game. The last thing you want to do is have it written on your headstone that you had a lump, didn't get it checked. Oh, well, think of all them sexual explorations you're missing out on just because you're just too damn stubborn to go to a
That's good advice.
That is actually really good advice.
It is.
Listen to Brother Kane.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Don't get me wrong. I don't give a shit what you guys do with your balls, but I mean, if you feel something,
not like I care about them though. But you should care about yours.
Yeah. You should care about yours, man. I care about mine. I roll.
Like me and mine is like this. You and yours, I mean, it's not really any of my concern. Don't go to the doctor. I don't care. I mean, I'm just telling you what it is.
Damn.
All right. Another common question that guys ask other guys, but don't ever ask a professional or get the real advice. You guys literally got a hand brain in your hand and you won't even Google symptoms. All right, but is it possible to break your penis? Ladies, what do you think?
Yeah. No, it's not.
All right. Yes, it is possible. However, there isn't
Oh
a
yeah,
bone.
that's what I thought you said. Is it impossible? Okay, go
No.
ahead. Sorry.
Is it possible?
Oh, is
yes,
it
is possible to create a fracture. And so what happens is you actually rip or tear the muscles or tendons that, line the penis.
Yep.
So you'll know when you do this because it actually has a loud pop, just like breaking a bone. So you'll immediately lose your erection. You'll hear a loud pop and you'll be in a fair amount of pain that you'll probably want to go to a doctor anyways. If you don't, you're setting yourself up for failure because that could lead to a condition where you will have erectile dysfunction, won't be able to get it up ever again. So go talk to a doctor so that way they can open that up, repair, and do what they need to do to make sure you stay in the game. Yes, Miss Aurora.
Can I add a little story to this? The
Sure.
only reason I know that is because that same dude in college that did the vagina, this guy was a freak.
Oh God.
Okay. The same dude in college that did the vagina was trying to make his junk bigger by getting it erect and lifting, like squatting with weights on it. And he broke his.
That's a thing. That's a thing. And I've seen that before.
And he was like, yo, I broke my beep. And I was like, wait, what? He's like, I broke my beep. And I didn't even know that was a thing until this moment. You know what I'm saying? Back in college. So
he sounds like a hardcore, true deviant to the core.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, why? Why would you do that? Why?
Whole deviant.
Go ahead with your hot topics.
All right, so there's actually 10 things to list on here. I'm going to skip a couple of them just because I don't think we can discuss them here on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Question number 3, what does normal semen look like? Look that shit up.
I thought you were going to give us a description.
No, not.
No, I'm not.
I'm young and can't get it up. Is that normal? If you're having a lot of sex, yes, it means you're tired. If you're not having a lot of sex, then no, that's not normal. Please get that looked at. You might have an actual blockage that's keeping you from achieving that. If that gets loose, you might actually suffer a brain aneurysm, a heart attack, a stroke, all kinds of things. All kinds of bad things happen when you have blood clots.
So what kind of blockage is it? Just so they could know, because some people may think it's a
that's a great question.
Yeah, is it like what?
So it's going to be a blood clot. So it's a blood blockage. It's really difficult, and it's only happens a handful of times. It does occur, but if you're experiencing a semen backup, that's a completely different problem. And that's actually, there's a medical term for it, but it's most commonly known as blue balls.
Okay.
Yeah.
So blood blockage is what usually keeps a lack of blood flow is what usually keeps people from achieving an erection. And so what happens with the penis is that it swells up with blood and just your stuff, and that's what creates the erection. So if you're having a blood clot, think of it like kinking a hose.
Oh,
so if the water can't flow, you're not gonna go.
Not gonna go. He was a poet and you didn't even know it. All right, go ahead.
I really wasn't.
Good job. Thank you. I figured just in case, and she threw it out there.
But there are, in line with that, there are a couple of things you can look into. One of them is medication. A lot of guys don't want to go to the doctor, so medication might be a far stretch for some, but that is the most helpful. Another one is a penis pump. You can order that on Amazon. I think it comes in discreet packaging, so take your luck there. There's also creams. You can talk to your partner. And also one of the most beneficial things that you can do to help, your erectile dysfunction, if you're experiencing it, is exercise. It's not so much a weight issue, but it could be just a sedentary. If you sit down a lot, if you work behind a desk, that can create some blood flow issues. So getting the blood pumping, moving around, stretching, things like that can really help.
So wait, I have a question.
Yes.
With the pump, is that something that because it just draws the blood to that area, and so then that's why it would help you with that? Or I'm a little confused as to how the pump would help you. If you're having a blockage, you know what I'm saying?
I myself have never really used a pump. I can't ever see myself purchasing one or borrowing one.
Oh God, no.
So it's the odds of me ever having that firsthand experience are slim to none. I mean, I'll let you guys know when I'm 50, but
I just was wondering if you did any research or anything like that, because I was just wondering, just in general, like how would that help if you have a blockage? I would think you would need some kind of medication.
So it's not always due to a blockage. I mean, like I said, I mean, it could be like if you're having a lot of sex, then that just means that the tissue, your body is tired. You're literally experiencing a level of exhaustion.
Depending
I mean, it's like
on
trying
what
to go.
it is.
I mean, there's a couple of guys that are going to message me right now, and I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. If you are trying to go 4 times in a row one night, you know, everybody knows how hard it is to keep or maintain or even finish that 3rd or 4th one.
Right.
You know, like 1 or 2 might be good, but your partner might be like telling you to get the hell off at 3 or 4. And so, like I said, I'm going to get a couple of guys messaging like, I can go 5 or 6 times. Yeah.
Yeah. Your partner isn't happy with that. Just
yeah, no.
Your partner wasn't happy after 2.
No.
And then you complain that dinner ain't made. So, I mean, it's
Survey
just...
says no, because I'm tired. I'm tired, wore out.
If you're one of them 5 or 6 shooters, I mean, I've been willing to bet your partner's got a headache a lot.
Okay, well, 2 of them need to be lunch breaks and 15-minute breaks, because mama
your partner has a headache a lot.
Man.
And wash your bed sheets, you filthy animal. All right. My penis has acne. Should I be concerned?
Who has acne?
Guys who get acne on their penis. So this is something that kind of
is that a thing?
It's in an article.
I must skip that one. I'm like, that's a thing.
Okay, no, we're actually curious because honestly, I don't have the male counterpart. So if I'm asking you questions, it's literally genuine.
Right. Oh no.
Yeah. Like I said, y'all.
A lot of these questions in this article are just like, all right, I would have never thought to have asked.
Right.
You know, and so a lot of people have experienced a little bit of acne during their lifetime, you know, especially during their teenage years. But it's something that when it occurs, you know, down there in your nether region, I mean, it kind of makes you raise your eyebrow, you know, like what's going on? Is this normal?
Right.
So the answer is a little bit, it's kind of easy and kind of complicated. So simple answer, yes, especially if you groom or, you know, shave, do things like that. You run the risk and possibility for ingrowns, especially around that sort of tissue that fluctuates a lot and is very malleable, very flexible. It's huge opportunities if you groom yourself down there for the hair to start growing in an awkward position just based upon, again, if you're sitting, if you're standing, if you're moving, if you're exercising, that loose skin is moving around while hair is trying to grow. So imagine trying to maintain a straight line.
Right.
You know, while you're shaking or moving, vibrating, like trying to be on a, you know, just whatever euphemism or example you guys want to throw in there. It'd be like trying to write on a shaky table.
Right, exactly. It's gonna cause some type of pimple or, you know, something. Yeah, no.
Now, so here's the thing that you do have to look out for. Acne, depending if it's actually acne or not. So a lot of times people can mistake outbreaks for acne. A lot of times people can mistake STDs for acne.
Yeah.
If they continue to occur in the same spot, like, you know, you have one of those pimples that, you know, shows up every once in a while. That's something to start being concerned about. That's something you might want to bring to a medical professional's attention and see if there's 1, get tested, and 2, see if there's anything that can be done to alleviate that situation. Because as a guy, one of the worst things that can happen is a chick looking at your junk and going, ew. So
yeah,
that will ruin the mood.
Yes, it will.
And that just brings up a really good point and topic. Like, please don't be ashamed to like be familiar and very familiar with your situation. And it's okay to go and communicate that to your doctor. So it's nothing wrong with making sure everything down there is okay.
Yeah.
So next one, can I give my partner a UTI? Yes, you can. Short answer.
Absolutely.
Don't be dirty, clean yourself. Try to maintain one partner, because not to say that, you know, I'm preaching monogamy or anything, but sex with multiple partners runs a higher risk of giving one of your partners or yourself a UTI. So the easiest way to avoid a UTI is to maintain, you know, a steady relationship with one partner. Otherwise, use protection so that way you don't run the risk of passing on UTIs or worse, STDs. I didn't think I would have to explain that, but it's guys. So I might have to repeat this 2 more times. So this is going to be a really long live.
I think what Sasha was going to say was BV, right?
Yeah, because it could be transferred for both partners, and that's like a repetitive use, like backing up a strong, keep using it, kind of that kind of euphemism. So it's like,
well, and guys tend to think that they can't pass that on because it's called bacteria vaginosis. So they obviously,
but we both have a urethra, which is in the same type of canal. So we do have similar situations. So it's not like Brother Kane said, it's not a monogamy thing. And even sometimes it can be taken for a monogamy thing. If it works, if it's working, let it work. The pH is working, because you could even be like, that pH could not work as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's really important that you educate yourselves on sex. So my late wife, I can bring this up now because she's no longer around. She can't get in trouble for this. But she used to work at an OBGYN's office, and she used to come home and, you know, disclose some stories of things that she had seen while in the field. One of them that had occurred and she was completely confused about was that there was a couple who was trying to get pregnant and couldn't. And so they went to a couple doctors who put them on medication, had them download a fertility calendar, things like that. And so for months and months they were trying, couldn't do it. After, you know, a certain amount of times of trying, or a certain amount of time of trying to conceive, doctors got to kind of go in there, take a look and see, you know, like, hey, do we need to run tests? What do we do? Found out, and I don't know how this was possible, but I mean, there's a medical journal somewhere about it. Yeah, it was putting it in the wrong hole, but not the hole you were thinking about.
Wait, what?
Dude was boring out the urethra.
Oh, ow!
What?
Your urethra, ladies, if you do not know, is the hole that you urinate from.
He was doing what and what?
Boring out the urethra.
It's a tiny little hole. It's not meant to be stretched or gauged or however you want. Like, I know there's people that do it in medical play, but it's not meant to be gauged.
So that's why I say it's really important to educate yourself sexually, just so that way certain things like this can occur. I imagine she had a slew of other medical problems stemming from this, and they had been married for years.
Oh God.
So
the whole time they were like having intercourse in
oh my goodness, I can't even. Oh my God, I can't even. My skin is crawling.
Well, and here was the other thing. Again, educate yourself sexually. Women, men, everybody. This is what SafeWord is here for, to remove the stigma behind speaking about sex, because had this conversation happened when they were younger, it might not have led to this in their adulthood.
Was exactly my first thought.
A lot of people that are watching this right now, or when they rewatch this, they're going to say like, oh, holy shit, what dumbasses. No, it's not ignorance. It's not stupidity. It's a lack of education. And that's what we're here to try and fix. So please listen, talk to your friends, you know, get some information, look some stuff up, do some research, because like
everyone's not raised the same way from the same places. You know, some people are more sheltered and some people have more, you know, liberal households or societies that they came from. So it's exactly what Kate said. This is like, you got to educate yourself, even if you grew up learning things another way. At some point you have to do your own research so you could be informed for yourself outside of what people tell you.
I'm going to interrupt you for just a hot second because we got a new viewer in here. Moopy. It's Moopy. I think that's how you pronounce it. This person said, love what you all do. Thanks for making this channel. Oh, awesome. We love you. Thank you. Thank you for viewing.
What's up, Moopy? Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you.
Yes.
Much love. I don't blow kisses, but you know, just
we appreciate you. Thank you for joining. We really appreciate you, Moopy. Thank you. Share with a friend.
I just want to acknowledge the people. I want to acknowledge the people that are commenting, and as we get more commenters, believe me, if you comment below, I will read it. I will shout you out. Okay.
She will cut off whoever is speaking.
Yes, I will, because my fans are important. So. Okay.
All right. All right. So you know what? I'm just going to skip through that and get to the last point. This is what I really wanted to discuss, just because it's something that's trending on social media, something that's trending on TikTok. So, you know, we got to bring you the latest and greatest. So we're going to talk about it.
TikTokity, what they got.
Are you two ladies familiar with the concept of, or heard of, soaking?
Soaking.
I have a concept.
Not outside
in
of
my
like,
head.
right.
I don't know. I'm not familiar.
I'm gonna be PG here and say what? A bath? Soaking in a bath?
Okay. Well, if it was about baths, we wouldn't be discussing it here. So get your minds are already in the gutter. So let's get some opinions.
I don't know. So what is soaking?
Miss Aurora?
I don't know. I
venture a guess.
Well, if I venture a guess, it's gonna be really bad.
That's why I'm only saying waterfalls.
Okay, so basically what I think soaking is at least what I knew it to be back in the day was
you're getting really shy for running the kink page.
Covering. I'm trying to figure out how to censor this. Covering yourself and enjoying the secretion of another person. So
that's actually a really good guess, and you're closer than you are farther. I'll say that.
All right.
I'm pretty much saying what she's saying. Pretty much. Yeah.
Oh no.
Come on, give us your idea. You gotta come off the dome.
When I said soaking and I asked what do you guys think it is, your eyebrows went up like you had an idea.
Yep, you sure did. She's like, nope, I don't got shh.
No.
I was thinking the whole time. That's it. So, Brother Kane, let us know what waterfalls.
All right. So, soaking isn't exactly having to do anything with fluids, secretions, or anything like that. It is actually a Mormon concept where instead of engaging in sexual activity before marriage, if it just gets too much to bear, if it's too difficult to abstain until marriage, what they'll do is the man will insert his penis into the vagina and sit there. Will not move, will not thrust, will not create friction. Now, I had heard of this before, and I was a little taken aback when I heard about it the first time. But then after reading this article, they threw a curveball in there. They definitely threw a curveball at me. And so you guys are lucky that you get to hear about it right now, because like I said, I thought I knew what this was until I started reading this article.
Right.
And then they threw this at me. So I only knew of soaking as like I just described to you. You get penetration, there's just no thrust.
Okay. All right.
They have even taken it a step further, and they will invite a third person.
What now? Huh? What?
Oh, it gets much worse. Like if you're dead now.
No, I can't.
It gets much worse. If you're dead now, you're not going to make it.
Wait. Okay. All right. Let's let Mr. King get through this story. Holy cow. Okay, go ahead.
It gets so much like.
Okay.
When I tell you what this third person does, you're gonna drop. I promise.
Okay.
Okay. So no hate. By all means, no hate.
No hate.
Like if this works, if this coincides with your
Friday
beliefs, more power to you.
If you like it, we love it.
Discuss it, and it is a foreign concept that we will try and be open-minded about. All right, so this third person will come into the room and jump on the bed, so that way it's not a sin for the person to be thrusting, but friction is still occurring.
I'm about to get up and run out of this house. Okay, God, Jesus.
Please enjoy this brief intermission.
Okay. Wait.
Okay.
You said, excuse me, say what?
Okay, I'm sorry. What?
Say it again.
Wait. Bouncing on the bed so it's not thrusting? Wait, what?
Soaking is a loophole many Mormons apparently use to get around the no sex before marriage rule. It is essentially when a man inserts his penis into a woman's vagina but doesn't thrust and instead stays still. The couple may then get a third person to jump on the bed, known as jump humping, to create motion.
Just go ahead and open yourself to kink. Just go ahead and open yourself.
You're kinky. It's fine. It sounds like a litigating attorney. That's what this sounds like. You're trying to find loopholes and verbiage with this.
Right. To fit your desires.
According to Mormons Online, the removal of thrusting stops it from being considered sex.
Wait, but no, I'm sorry. I have to argue this. I really do.
Okay,
Just
I'm gonna
because-
make one very brief fucking point, and then you
Okay.
ladies can just mollywop this.
Okay,
I know you guys got a lot to say.
Good. You
But
got the floor.
I'm gonna say one thing right now. As a man, if you have a daughter, I guarantee you ain't no less pissed when she says, "Dad, we just soaked." I'd kill a motherfucker.
That's worse. That's worse. I feel like that is worse. You marinated it in somebody else's body. Like, that's not it.
And like, I'm sorry, like if you're experiencing sexual experience at all, okay, and you're having an intimacy moment, there's a lot of times that you just soak and stare into each other's eyes. Let's just use soak as an example.
Married guys, tell your wife, me and the secretary just soaked.
No. Like, what do you mean?
As a married man, tell your wife, me and the secretary, me and my side piece, we just soaked.
So
it's not
question
sex.
For me is, if somebody else is supposed to be shacking up or like committed to somebody, if they soak with somebody else, is that a problem too? Or we just don't know that yet?
I think that kind of violates the commitment aspect of it.
You already violating it under God by soaking it. Like, what do you mean? Like, what are we doing here?
Well, and so that's why I would really like to get possibly a Mormon viewer. I mean, I know you're there. If you're soaking, you might be watching our page. So that's why I'm asking.
Well, and I'm not really judging, but it's just like, you can't sit there and say that you are abstaining or having abstinence when there is penetration happening. That is like when I used to go and do outreach to high school students, and the girls would be like, I'm still a virgin, but I've had anal. No, boo boo, you're not.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry, you're not. Just because your hymen hasn't been broken does not mean that you are a virgin. You have engaged in sexual activity. Yeah. You have engaged in some kind of intimacy.
They're all called sex.
I'm sorry, that's sexual intercourse. It doesn't matter what hole he's putting it in. You know, it doesn't.
Unless it's the armpit. Does that count?
Lots of holes. There's lots of things that count? Then fold for holes.
Fold for holes.
I'm just saying, like, you're engaging in sexual activity, like. This is not like, and you should be educated in that, because you can't sit there and say, well, you can say medically I'm a virgin.
No,
because your hymen hasn't been broken, but you're technically not a virgin because you've dealt with
toys. Oh,
okay. I didn't hear you. Sorry, my bad.
We need a longer safe word.
I was testing it. Go.
Oh, okay. All right. So, but like, you can say medically that you are a virgin, right?
Yeah.
Because your hymen hasn't been broken, but you're engaging in intimacy. You're engaging in an emotional exchange. You're engaging. It doesn't matter if the guy's in it or not. There's an emotional exchange that's happening. Okay. And you're engaging in it. It's a level of intimacy. So, and there's physical intimacy that's happening. No.
What do you have to say, King? You over there twiddling your beard.
Well, I just have a quick question because much like Aurora mentioned earlier, she doesn't have, the male genitalia to, relate to. So I don't have the female genitalia. So I have a question for you ladies. Okay. The hymen, does it break upon insertion or thrusting?
Thrusting.
It depends. No, it honestly depends.
Well, it depends.
It depends
I can only speak for me.
Right. It depends on your level of entactment with your hymen. So someone can break their hymen by inserting a tampon. You know what I'm saying? So like, you could be 13 starting your period and say, hey, I want to use tampons, and you can break your hymen, and you would never even know because you're on your period. Right. But for most people, well, I shouldn't even say most people, there's a good percentage of people that it takes thrusting in order to break your hymen. But there are people that have loose or detachable, is what it's called, hymens, where any kind of impact towards the back of the cervix will break that.
So
depending on,
within this concept,
relate to that.
Within this concept of soaking, it is possible to break the hymen and de-virginize somebody.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So if you take it back to medieval times, where they checked the sheets, after you married someone and you had to come out with your sheet, showing and proving that you consummated the marriage, that wouldn't work. So where Mormons are trying to put a loophole
right
in this is like, you know what, just embrace the fact that we are sexual in nature.
Yeah.
We are sexual in nature. We have a desire, and you fulfilled your desire over your religion.
Yeah. So
I have a shitty comment, but I'm going to save it for the Patreon.
There we go.
In my opinion, anytime you have like insertion of the opposite sex into your orifice, that is sex. Yes. That's what I feel. I mean, touching it is embracing it, but once it's like entered an orifice into your existence of your body, like that's copulation of some sort.
You're exchanging energy.
It's all the way in there. Like it's in there like swimwear. It's over.
Yeah,
you did that.
It's done. It's done.
Yeah,
it's done and it's done and it's done. Just write it off.
If you taste like anything, you did something, okay? If you felt something or tasted something, you did something.
Well, and just a lot of times, okay, so for experienced people that do have sexual intercourse and maybe aren't, guided by a religion or waiting till marriage, okay? If you
shout out to y'all. I love y'all. Sorry, I love y'all.
I love my kinksters. Yes.
Okay. Love my kinksters, and I love y'all waiters too.
So here's the deal. Like if you I'm sorry, the story is just so crazy to me because it's that loophole. It's like, back in the day in the 90s, I fucking did outreach and high school students would always try to argue with me. Well, I've only given oral, so I'm still a virgin. No, not technically, baby. Like you're having sexual intercourse. It's sexual intercourse.
You're taking energy into your body.
Yeah. And I'm Latin. Okay. And in a lot of the Latin communities, like a lot of the women are Catholic, or their families are. And so they go off of this thing of, okay, well, there was no vaginal penetration, so I'm still a virgin. So I took it anally. I'm still a virgin. You're just not. Like after anal penetration, you're just, because you've experienced everything that there is to experience outside of maybe an orgasm, or I don't know.
Sometimes that will make you do that. So you've got a climactic situation involving the opposite sex enter your body in some form, period. Because you can get aroused or, just climax from any type of situation, from kissing to whatever, to a swift touch. So yeah, that's copulation at that point.
So Roy says waiting for 32 years. I'm not quite sure what that means, but we love you for it. We love you. Wait, whatever it is. Sex complicates things until you know how to communicate effectively. Okay.
Intimacy comes in different levels and shades and facets and stuff like that.
You can think, like, that's the thing. Like, abstinence doesn't necessarily mean you're not engaging at all in any forms of intimacy. You can have relationships, right? You can have intimacy. You can have hand holding. You can have a deep conversation. You can have cuddling. All those things. I mean, kissing. For some people,
there's probably polyamorous relationships where there's a partner who's waiting, or whatever the situation is, or their level of intimacy is found in something else, and that could be just as fulfilling as like physical stimulation for some people. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different facets, and it's okay. It's embraced, and it's okay. At least in kink, it's okay for all of that to have a place.
And here's something I'm going to add to this. As an experienced person that has been through sexual relationships or sexual situations, okay, a lot of times the soak, the tease, the handhold, the kissing, the intimacy exchange is more powerful a lot of times than the sex, because sometimes you pick the wrong person. The connection's not there.
Then it's a waste.
And it's a waste. It really is.
Especially if you're a true kinkster. I will say this, someone like figuring a lot of things out, coming into like being a new co-host here, and just coming into a lot of knowledge, being in this new community for me. A lot of the things that I'm learning that I'm into now totally turned me off. Like if it wasn't happening in other situations. Does that make sense?
She said new. She said new.
Shut up. It's okay. So understanding that you like certain things, but not understanding where it lies it's different. Leave me alone, Mr. Roy.
I'm gonna put you on blast every time you know
and
this
stuff. Now you're making me whatever. You know what I'm saying. Anyways,
so, Mr. K, was that like that just exploded the entire hot topics? We went off on a tangent. Is that all you have for hot topics? You got another topic for us? No, that's it. Yo, I can go on all day. Maybe we'll carry this on to the Patreon.
That was a good one.
That was
really
good. Freaking good.
While we have the audience and while we have, people that are able to view this, I just want to say the fact that we're talking about it, the fact that we're discussing it, it might seem like we're throwing shade. We're really not.
No.
But take it from us. Like I said, this is trending on social media. This is trending on TikTok. The Mormon community is starting to put out videos explaining what this concept is and trying to explain how it is not deemable as a sexual encounter.
No.
Okay. Unfortunately,
that's not right.
And I'm going to apologize now. Only within the Mormon community will you be able to make that argument and have it make sense. For the rest of us out here that aren't a part of the religion, aren't a part of that community, aren't a part of that understanding, you're not going to get a lot of understanding. You're not going to get a lot of approval. You're not going to get a lot of positive reactions explaining it the way that you guys are. This is, by any sense of the word, a sexual encounter. You have not found a loophole. There are no loopholes around sex.
There aren't. Yes,
there really
that's
aren't.
the piece of advice.
Wait, say that again. Say that again.
There are no loopholes around sex. Okay,
no.
Sex is sex is sex.
Yeah.
And it's not uncommon for, and I think this proves the point perfectly, that human beings are sexual entities, and it doesn't matter your race, religion, creed, personality, anything.
That's not a new like we all know that this is what we're like preempted to do, but
and
just
this
because
is something that we discussed really early on, is that there's 3 basic needs of the human body. It's food, sex, and water. So nutrition, shelter, all that stuff. The basic human needs are
that's
sex,
the circle
food,
of life,
and shelter.
But when it comes to religious beliefs, I feel like those things need to be practiced with other people that are in that facet, unless someone becomes enamored with them enough to want to experience that. That becomes coercion to me. It becomes coercion to a certain extent, especially if you're trying to viralize a religious belief sexually. That's almost like letting people know that it's okay if you're just doing this, and you're kind of gearing people with like not the best way to go about it.
Yeah. Well, and here's something that I was going to say is that I don't understand. I haven't done enough research. I haven't looked into it to know anything really more in depth than what's in the media about the Mormon religion. So I would be curious, honestly, and maybe this is something you could bring to the next hot topics, is, how is that not having sex before marriage? How do they classify that as something that is not sex before marriage?
Well, that's something I touched on in the article, is that they believe that the removal of thrusting doesn't make it sex.
But that's it? That's the only explanation?
Penetration. Whenever you penetrate, you're making contact. So that's sexual contact. When a bullet enters the skin, that's penetration. Whenever something enters the surface of anything, that's penetration. So you penetrated the other body. It's sexual intercourse.
Well, and here's the thing. It's like you look at a sex ed, 6th grade. Okay. 6th grade, you go to sex ed, basic sex ed class. They explain to you that penetration is the entering of something into, your body. So how can they make to me, it doesn't make sense. And that's probably because
there's nothing
I don't
to
have
make that
knowledge.
Make sense. If it's a religious way, like you're saying, if it's a religious situation, I totally understand. To each their own. I respect everyone's religion. But if we're looking at a general sense of anatomy, that is sexual copulation. Yeah. Just that alone. To each their own, but that's what it is.
And like what I was saying earlier is like, within your community, that might make sense. That might, you may be able to make an explanation and have a solid case for it within your community. But you put it on TikTok, you put it out there for the internet to scrutinize, to talk about, to raise the point. And I mean, take it with a grain of salt from your favorite SafeWord hosts. We're being as nice as you're going to encounter when discussing this topic.
Yeah. You can't
Somebody
have
else is going to be a lot cruder, a lot meaner, and a lot, just you're not going to have a better experience. You're not going to have anybody tell you nicer that, sorry, honey, that's copulation.
Sorry, honey.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's
okay, so I've got some comments. So we have, at least you guys aren't as bad as the Bible that you look at a woman and it's lust. Which would be the opposite of what they believe because they believe in the Bible. So that was the comment. I'm just reading it.
So the Bible, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, any man who looks upon a woman with lust has already committed adultery in his heart. And so there's another part of the Bible that says, if your hand causes you to sin, remove it from you, for it's easier to enter into heaven maimed than burn in the depths of hell whole. Okay, and it says, if your eye causes you to lust, to pluck it out, because for the same concept and reason.
Somebody went to Bible study on Wednesdays.
I was raised very religious. So, you would never guess it, but I was. And so I understand a lot of this, and it's where I have a lot of, questions. It's where I'm very curious. It's where I'm eager to have somebody explain to me. And I'm not going to, like I said, we're not here to throw shade. We're not here to, downplay anybody. I'd really like to get an explanation from a Mormon and see if it's something that they'd be able to, might be willing to reconsider.
Okay, so that's something that we need to work on. SafeWord crew is finding a Mormon to bring in on an interview and ask them if they know what soaking is, because it sounds like it's a relatively new term, right?
So no, I've actually, like I said, reading this article, this is the first time it's actually made mainstream attention. But I think if I can think of the earliest reference to soaking that I'm familiar with, I want to say I've known about it for at least 3 years.
Oh, okay. Okay. So so let's find somebody that's Mormon. Let's bring them in and ask them about soaking. I honestly want to understand. It's not a judgment thing. And that's why I keep saying I don't have enough knowledge within the Mormon religion to understand how this works. So I would love to find somebody, bring them in and ask some questions, somebody that's open. So if you're a Mormon and you'd like to defend your position or, even just talk about it, it's not a defense.
Please educate us.
Yes, educate us. Educate us. Seriously.
However, I will say this. It's hella amusing.
Right. It really is. That's why it's a hot topic.
Right.
It's extremely entertaining. It's extremely amusing. Like I said, this is a very foreign concept. So like I said, again, we're not here to throw shade. We're not here to make fun or anything, but there's no denying that it's a funny fucking situation.
Yeah, it really is. We need more. I had to get up and walk away. And I'm sorry, like
me
I walked
too
away from the camera.
No shade.
But there was no shade. It was just like, wait, what? Because from a kinkster's perspective, somebody that deals in kink on a daily basis, deals in intimacy on a daily basis, helps people through their relationship, qualms, wombs, and freaking intimacy issues. It's like telling me the ocean is purple. Like what?
Like sexual gaslighting to me. That's how. Yeah. That's what it gave me. Yeah. Gaslighting. Essentially, I did.
So I'm gonna leave it at. This is the last thing I'm gonna say on it because we do have to move on.
I know we haven't even started our show.
This ended up.
This was interesting though.
So I want to leave you on this final thought. And if you guys know me, Aurora knows me, Miss Sasha knows me. They know I make a lot of references to comedians, memes, just articles, things that I've read in the past that are amusing. So there was a comedian who I can't remember his name right now, but he did a stand-up. He had a skit where he said that he had a son who farted and said, "Oh, a little bit of poop came out." And so he says, "I just farted and a little bit of poop came out." And he's like, "No, you shit yourself." And he's like, "No, I just farted." And he was like, "Okay, do you need to change your drawers?" "Yes." "You shit yourself."
You sharted.
Yeah. And so he says like, you don't puke up or you don't burp up some vomit, you puke.
Right. Yeah.
All right. And so if somebody were to ever say like, oh no, we just soaked, like, nah, you was fucking.
Yeah.
Right. Cause that's almost more intimate than actually like just having a sexual
that's
experience
way
with somebody.
intimate.
A one night stand, you're just thank you.
Yeah.
Goodbye. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
wouldn't that be weird if somebody
more intimate to me than
that's like saying like just doing that with a random person is okay. I feel like that's way more intimate, like you said, than doing that. Like,
yeah. That's why I said, like, if you've ever had sexual experiences, like there's times where you soak, and I'm gonna use the word soak.
So I've heard of people,
and connect with your partner. You know what I'm saying?
I've heard of people experiencing that, like hearing that from my friends, that like something became way too intimate, or like it was just too much and too weird, like too quick. Like, why are you doing that? And like super intently, like this is like
that's like too intimate, right? And like if you're waiting to marry this person, wait for the moment, like, because I mean, honestly, I'm a kinkster, but I waited till marriage. You know what I'm saying? To lose my virginity. So it's, if you want to wait, but wait, like fucking hold out. Like,
I was 18. I was 18 and it was my first boyfriend, and we were both virgins, and like we both had jobs, because God forbid, like I really did take the sensible route, because even then was like, I felt like that was even still too early. So like, yeah, I get you, Miss Aurora.
Yeah. I mean, like just wait, hold out. Like I don't understand. Sex makes things complicated. Just wait.
I thought of something that's going to make this run for another 10 minutes.
Oh, gosh.
Do you know? How do you know when you're done? Like, what is a soaking session?
Right.
How do you,
that's a great question.
Does that take 10 minutes? Is it just 5 minutes? Is there a time limit?
That's a great question.
At what point does somebody come in and start jumping on the bed? Like,
right. When do you invite the person in? When you're already in, or like beforehand, you're like, okay, wait 3 minutes for me to get it in, because it's gonna be, a little hard to get it in. Like, come in like 3, 4, 5. I might need 5. Or do you like soak and then you're like, hey?
And like, if somebody's giving you like a time limit or anything, this is just something that's popping into mind. But if you're on a time limit and somebody comes up and goes, time, that's a brothel.
A brothel? If somebody's like,
that is brothel etiquette.
Pretty much.
If somebody's timing you from outside the room, pounds on the door, and lets you know, like, hey, your soaking session is done. Right. That's a brothel.
Pimping. That's pimping.
Done. Your soaking session is done. Now comes the thrusting. Here I come to hump on the bed. Please educate us, please, because I'm lost. I'm really lost on this one. And we've gone on for like 10 minutes on this. So Miss Sasha, you're gonna bounce for a hot second. Good. All right, guys. So let's get this show started, because we have really just like, hello, let's drag this out. But that was a really interesting conversation. We may continue this on the Patreon. So if you guys want to see more of this, I think we're gonna have to, because I need some uncensored opinions here, because Kane is keeping that shit locked down. He's like, I have something to say. I see, because now if you watch
I've got a hole in my lip.
If you watch Kane, he can't do the physical one eyebrow thing, but when he is freaking thinking about, don't try this, scary. Okay, so when he is thinking about something and he has something to say, but he ain't saying it, that eyebrow creeps. It's like, and I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah, so be watching for that. I give you a little behind the scenes there. Kane's got something to say if that eyebrow starts creeping.
I can't do it on command, but involuntarily all day long.
So in this video and topic of conversation, it's all about finding the right tool for you, right? All right. So if you're new to kink, right, all the tools for play can be a bit overwhelming. And if you're a veteran to kink, maybe you've mastered, your tool and you're looking for a new one. Okay. To favorite tool, something to master, right? And you'd like to figure out which one to do next as a veteran, right? So, but for whatever reason, having a ton of options and like not a ton of information on how to go about or which one to choose, yeah, it can be a bit overwhelming. And if you go online, it's like, oh, there's so many tools out there. Like, which one do I pick? What do I start with? Where do I begin? How do I even use this thing? You know, if you're not even looking online and you go into a sex store, you are completely overwhelmed. It's just toys upon toys. And then there's the dungeon section, and then there's the female section and the male section. And you're just, but this is why SafeWord is here. Okay. To give you the guidance all in one place. So you don't have to go online. You ain't got to go into a sex shop if you're embarrassed or, you know, get inundated with all this information online. We try to give you all the information in one place so that you can kind of figure it out for yourself. Explore. This is going to be a topic of conversation for months. Explore. Okay.
Right.
So we're going to kick things off with Miss Sasha, right?
Yes.
So Miss Sasha,
yes,
can you tell me what would be a good direction to go in trying to find what toys you may include in your new adult toy box?
Okay.
Like, what direction would you go?
Okay. So a few little tidbits I got to throw in there. So I think number one, something that you have to do first off, and it's something we've been talking about, we've been expanding on, we've been touching on, we've been exploring. Something we have been exploring over the past few weeks is just that. And what's that, you guys? We've been talking about exploration.
Exploration.
Yeah.
Come on, Kane, participate. Come on, Kane, participate.
No, well, when she started doing this, I was like, relationships.
No, exploration.
Need you to not. But yes, exploration is pretty much like the tip of the iceberg in the kink community. That's the first thing that you're going to run into: exploring, wonder, taking that deep dive. And that is pretty much the basis for kink. You need to explore, have an imagination, and all those things. And these are sadly some of the things that get overlooked in relationships. And just with the exploration aspect alone, you get to find out a lot about yourself, and you get to find out a lot about your partner. But one of the first things you kind of have to look at, and it's my opinion, but you got to I feel like it's important to figure out where you fit in the community, where you fit in your relationship, where you fit in with yourself, and just figure out, like, are you a dom? Are you a sub? Are you more of a switch? Are you more of a daddy or DD? Like, what are you really into, so you can figure out what works best for you or your partner. You know, it's simple. So these are just a few little tidbits I want to throw out there. So since we touched on those, I wanted to take a quick little test with the SafeWord crew, and let's get everyone's answers as we're taking this test, so we can break down a few areas of the kink community for everyone. And if you're here and you want to take this test and quiz with us, the link will be down in the description below. And we want you guys to share what you guys get. If you want to play along with us, let us know what you're getting, because we're going to be sharing ours. But yeah, we encourage you guys to take it with us. So if we all have our tests loaded on our second device, does everyone have one so we can take it together?
Yes. And I'm gonna share my screen so that you guys aren't just looking at our faces.
We know you like to look at our faces
while we take the test. So we'll go ahead and share the screen.
Yes.
Y'all can see it. Y'all see it?
Ah.
Got it. Is it up there? Oh, it's bright.
Oh.
Ooh, you look like a ghost, Brother Kane. Brother Kane, you look like a ghost.
You got washed out. Oh, he got washed out on.
He got washed out on that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ooh.
so you're gonna have to deal with Kane's washed out face, but you don't have to deal with it if you're not talking, Kane. Okay, so we're gonna take this test, which is discover your sexual blueprint with this kink test. So this will kind of give you a very basic rundown of what to do. All right, so everybody click here to discover your sexual blueprint. Oh, real quick, before I do that, hold on.
Holding. Hold, please.
Hold, please. I am going to share this link in the description, in the comment section below. So if you guys want to take this test with us,
Come on.
then please do comment what you get. We will share. If you say don't share, I will make sure I don't share. But if you want to take the test with us, please take it with us.
If you tell us later, reach out to us or drop it down below. Period.
Right.
Like, period.
Exactly.
I want to hear it because
I do. Right. I do too. I'm like, I want to kind of know. I want to know.
I want to talk about it with you guys though too. Like, let's go. Let's talk about this stuff.
Okay, so I'm going to drop this in the link below. Give me 2 seconds, and then we will pull this up and play this test and see what the heck is.
What's it going on?
Deal. Okay, so it's dropped in the comment section below. You guys can check the comments and see what tests we are actually taking, where it's from, all that, and take it along with us. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share mine because I don't have a filter. Like, y'all can see what I freaking share. And the SafeWord crew, if you guys want to add, like when I read off the questions, if you want to add what you have to say or what you choose, please do. Okay. Like, don't let it just be on my pretty. Right. Don't just let it be on my pretty face the whole time. Okay. So click here to discover your sexual blueprint. Let's do this. All right.
Kane looks like he's getting abducted by an alien.
I know, right?
His face is just so washed out.
He said, I wish. Wait, I'm going to need you to speak a little bit into the mic. He's shaking his head for everybody that can't see. Kane, no one can see you. Okay. All right. So the first question is, I prefer intense, rough, animalistic sex more than any other kinds of sex. So make your choice and then tell me what your choice is.
Sometimes.
Yeah, right? Sometimes. Y'all can see what I'm picking because I'm screen sharing.
Oh, no.
And then, Miss Sasha, when you have logged in, let me know because I've already logged in. We'll do the second question.
I got sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And these tests aren't 100% accurate. We're going to take another test next week that is really accurate. So this is just a very brief one. I enjoy it when I get sexually dominated by my partner in the bedroom. No. Yeah. That ain't me.
Yeah.
That ain't me. What you say, Kane? What's your answer to that one? I need you.
Because this is just a mostly, not all the time, but a typically what would your vibe be?
Right. And that's kind of that's kind of like the catch-22 with this. It's like, who am I with?
Right. This is like ideal. I'm going off my ideal. So those are all my answers. Not typically, but ideal.
All right. So Sasha, what did you pick?
I picked yes. Yes.
Okay.
Mostly.
All right.
Shut up.
Making my partner orgasm is highly satisfying for me. So absolutely, it's very satisfying. Yeah. It's sort of good. I don't really care about my partner reaching orgasm. God dang.
Absolutely, it's satisfying, if and when it happens. Yeah.
I'm kind of torn between these two. Okay, let's.
Are you just not answering, Kane?
I'm gonna need you to speak. No one can see your face. My brother, use your words.
I look like Casper the Kinky Latin Ghost over here. I ain't saying shit. Why the hell am I going to highlight myself so everyone can be like, what the?
Oh, my
ate. We'll go there. Okay. Is everybody answer that question?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next one. Being the recipient of pain in sexual ways turns me on. Whipping, slapping, flogging, etc. No, fuck that shit.
Hell yeah.
No, not in this phrasing. No.
No? Okay.
No.
All right. So moving on. Sexually, I get bored easily and yearn for consistent sexual variation.
Constant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, constant. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So we all got a yes, yes,
yes,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Kane, we can't hear you.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Sex in the outdoors is exciting.
Yes.
Yes, sex outside is hot.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I like the idea of being held down or restrained by my partner during sex.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope. And this is where the switch comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I enjoy dominating my partner in the bedroom.
Yes.
I can still be sexually satisfied even if I don't orgasm, but I help my partner to orgasm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I put yes.
It depends. Yeah. But yeah.
Being watched while having sex is hot.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Give me some,
Hell yeah.
give me some
Hell
voyeurism
yeah,
all the way, baby. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Ah! All right. Next one. I like watching people have sex.
Does that include soaking?
No. You sound so dirty draws. I don't want to watch.
We are going to get banned by the Mormon community. All of Salt Lake City, Utah is coming after us.
Oh, darn.
Ban TikTok, not us. Because they put it out there. Y'all got on there and put it out. And Jesus, okay, what else?
Having a threesome or group sex turns me on. I agree it turns me on. I disagree. If my partner wanted to, I would try group sex. If y'all didn't catch my answer, so sorry.
You went really fast, but okay.
These are very basic questions for me. Very basic.
Yeah. Okay.
What we got? Does group sex turn? Yes.
If my partner wanted to try it, I would try it. But yeah, it does turn me on. So it just it depends.
Okay, Kane, what you got for that
but
one?
I agree. The thought of it.
No, I need you to talk. Yes, I need you. He's doing this and no.
Yeah.
And okay, but the screen is not up. I need you to say something.
Yep. Don't leave me alone. Okay, bye.
No, not say something while Sasha's saying something. Say something on your own.
Yes, group sex turns me on.
There we go. Yes, my fellow Kickstarter.
Okay.
I prefer to take control in the bedroom and decide what kind of sex we are going to have.
Yes.
There we go. Thank you, Kane.
Just so everybody's, because I already got a comment like, oh, somebody's all shy about sex all of a sudden. No, I'm just washed the hell out over here, going blind.
Turn down your screen lighting.
I decided to have a 44-inch screen right in front of me while we watch a white background. So
I'm a little washed out too. Okay.
So I pick sometimes it depends on the mood.
Nice. Okay. I get turned on by the thought of inflicting pain on my partner in a sexual way. Y'all know my answer.
Yes, it's hot.
If you watch the show, you know my answer.
Yes, it's hot.
What you got, Kane?
Yep.
Yup.
I love Kane's answers. It's so good. Yup. Okay. I prefer to have sex in the bedroom instead of anywhere else. Oh God.
That's a preference, yeah. But it could be anywhere, but
no, I can't. No, I'm sorry. If it's only to the bedroom, that's
no. That's it just says preferred. It doesn't need to be exclusive. Preferably I like
prefer. I prefer to be risque. Okay.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yep. That
okay, well, that means you're never doing it in the pool. You're never getting it over the back of a couch.
No. It depends on where you're at. This is so many layers for me. I'm a switch. So yeah, but preferably, yeah, comfortability is key.
If you've never had good dinner on the dining room table, then you're missing out.
Wipe that
no one
dinner
said
off the
never
table.
happened. I'm just saying.
Couldn't make that angry clear off the table.
Some people need a whole aerial rug, aerial floor like gymnastics. Sometimes you need aerial, But what else? What's the next
Having sex with one partner for the rest of my life is ideal.
I mean, if it was Mystique, then yeah. But other than that,
like it would be preferred. Is it gonna happen? I don't know, but it's preferred. Yes.
Okay.
Well, I would prefer to have soaked before, committing to it for the rest of my life.
Well, you need to go to the sink and go soak something there.
Hashtag soak. That's going to be a hashtag. All right. I want to try more kinky sexual activities in the next 3 months.
I mean, that would mean something would be happening. So yes, if it happens.
Here's the deal. If you're on this show and you don't pick yes, you're fired.
Preferably, yes, I would. Relatively, yes, absolutely.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, can we be more kinky?
Right. I was like, what else can I do? I guess yes.
I mean, yeah.
I guess we could. I guess I've never tried the bald eagle. I guess we could try it skydiving.
Oh God,
I don't know what that is.
But, God. Explain what the bald eagle is now, Kane. You done brought up a topic of conversation.
Oh, doing it while skydiving.
There you go. All right. Slow, caring, romantic sex is the best kind of sex.
Yeah. I mean, caring romantic just needs to be like notebook sex. Like
it doesn't need to be notebook sex.
Yeah. You can care about someone and have romantic sex and still be insane.
Right. Okay. So, tying up my partner with rope or handcuffs would be hot.
Absolutely.
All right. So y'all are going to see my results on the page. Kane, let's start with you. Just give me your percentages, what ended up at the top, and then just read through.
Kinky sex, 26%.
Mm-hmm.
Dominant, 25%.
Okay.
Sexual selfishness, 18%. Pleasure provider, 14%.
Okay.
Submissive, 11%. And only because vanilla sex was 7%.
All right. Miss Sasha.
Yeah.
Read your top results.
Okay. So 23% kinky sex, 19% dominant, 18% submissive, 16% pleasure provider, 16% sexual selfishness, and 8% vanilla sex. All
right. So you guys can see my screen. 26% dominant. Ooh, wow. How did you know? Okay. 25% kinky sex, 18% sexual selfishness, 16% pleasure provider, 9% submissive, 7% vanilla sex. Now, Roy took the test too. He says 28% vanilla. 24, yeah. I'm sorry, boo-boo.
Laughing at you. I love you, Roy. I'm not laughing at you.
No, we knew that. Okay, so 24% dominant.
My boy Blue.
Yep. 17% submissive, 13% sexual selfishness, 11% kinky sex, 7% pleasure provider. So what does all this shit mean? Let's start with dominant. We're going to go off of my test. Okay. What's your percentage in the dominant? Kane.
1 point below you, 25%.
25%. What's yours, Miss Sasha?
I'm on 19% dominant.
19%. Okay. So dominant. Part of your sexual personality is dominant. This means you like to be in control and call the shots in the bedroom. This can be subtle, like initiating sex or moving your partner into a new position, but it can also be more overt, like physically dominating them or verbally commanding them to your will. So let's take dominant for an example. What are some tools of play? And I'm going to kick this to you, Kane, first, so you can think on this. I'm going to talk a little bit and then I'm going to kick it to you. Okay. What are some tools of play, some toys that would fall under the dominant role that you could play with? Or you could, maybe get some experience on or learn or whatever.
Ropes, floggers, ball gags, blindfolds, almost every tool within the BDSM category, if it's not used for, some of them are cross categories, so you could be in constraint, restriction, things like that, sensory deprivation. But anytime you bring toys in and you're using the toys on the other person, I would say that would put you in the dominant perspective.
Right. Okay. So Miss Sasha, you got anything to add to that? Any
I
toys?
agree. You covered it.
Yeah, he really did. He covered all of it. Like as a dominant, it's your kind of choice as long as it's within consent and within your subs limits or whoever you're playing with limits.
It's a candy store in the BDSM category, and a lot of it
and
falls
dominance. You can grab some rope, you can grab a blindfold, you can grab handcuffs, you can grab
zip ties,
right?
Anything. Almost anything could be used in that category.
If I can add a caveat to that statement, anything you can use well, anything you know how to use would be considered a tool, or a tool within the dominant category. If you're grabbing a bullwhip for constraint, or if you're using a blindfold for anything other than covering the eyes, if you're not using the tools correctly.
Yes, please. As a dominant, just because you get the percentage high in the dominant realm does not mean that you know how to use all these toys.
Right.
So please get education on this.
This is just a catalyst to get the
creativity flowing,
lubricated, so you can do a deeper dive to figure out, okay, dominant, what else do you really like and what tool goes with that? That's something we'll cover later.
So kinky sex, what was the percentage, Kane?
My percentage for kinky sex, hang on, my screen timed out.
Mine was 23%.
That was my top result.
What was it again, Kane?
26%, and it was my top result.
Top
23, and mine was 23%, and that was my top result.
That was your top result? Okay, so kinky sex. Let's read the details on this. A high kinky sex score means that kinky sex is important to your sexual pleasure. A high score here indicates that exploring your fetishes and kinks is important to you. A low kink sex score means that you are perfectly satisfied with regular sex and don't feel the need to explore your kinks or fetishes. So we're not even going to talk about tools in this because it depends on what your percentage is. Okay. All of us kinksters on this kink page got a high percentage in kinky sex because we kinky. So, I mean, the tool of play within kinky sex would be exploration. Okay?
Absolutely. Explore. Imagination and exploration.
All right. Sexual selfishness. I got 18%. Kane, what did you get?
Same.
16.
Okay. So a low sexual selfishness score means that you care deeply about your partner's pleasure and want to make sure they enjoy sex and reach orgasm. On the other hand, a high sexual selfishness score indicates that you don't really care about your partner enjoying sex and reaching orgasm. A high score indicates that you want sex to be all about your pleasure. Ooh, Miss Sasha, you got a low score on that one. Dang, girl, you selfish? You selfish though?
Well, I'm equal because pleasure provider and sexual selfishness are the same.
Okay.
So I think kink takes precedent overall as opposed to providing and receiving.
Right.
I think it just has to be creative.
So this just gives you kind of like a broad, and we're not going to go into all the tools in these different sections because some of them are just very basic.
But it says a lot though.
Right, it does. Like if you add up all of your score and kind of see the percentage, you can kind of see where you fall. And that's really the most important piece on this. So we're going to do pleasure provider. What percentage did you get, Kane?
14%.
Okay, I got 16. Oh, we both got 16%. Okay. A high pleasure provider score means that you find it arousing to provide sexual pleasure to your partner. I don't know if that's all well, I guess I got 16%. It depends. Okay, yeah, it really does. A high score in this dimension means that making your partner moan, groan, and orgasm is sexually satisfying for you. In fact, making sure your partner has a powerful orgasm may be the most important part of sex for you. Okay. So if you took this test, there's you can learn how to give a good blowjob. And you know, how to lick the cat right. So I mean, you know, you can click on those links below. But pleasure provider means that you're, you know, exhibiting pleasure. So some tools that might fall into that. I mean, this is something for me personally. Pleasure provider for me as a dom would be things like teasing tools. So feathers, Mr. Kane, feathers, feathers, you know, massagers, things that are sensory, kind of a play. Gets the juices going.
See, if I was at a different stage in my life, taking this test, the results would be differently. And I bet if at a different time of the month, this test it would be looked at differently because I sway with all these things differently. And it depends on where I'm at the time. So this is a good test to reference. And even if you need to like reassess something that you're going through, this is a good general test.
So I'm going to add something in here. We got a comment. I got a higher score than Sasha and Dominant, lol. And she laughed at me. That was from Roy.
What? I wasn't laughing at you, just in general. I'm shocked because I could never. Mr. Roy. Don't you do me like that, Mr. Roy. I'm gonna put you on timeout since you're trying to call me out.
Okay, and then
but you did do good. I'm proud of you. You got
right.
Forward.
So he got 13% on sexual selfishness because I am amazing and caring. That's what he said.
Oh, you are.
You are.
Give you that.
We give you that. I totally give you that. We've known Mr. Roy now for a good year.
Better day. A1 since day one.
Yep. All right. So submissive, Mr. Kane. I would love to know your percent because I know you read through them again, but we're going one by one. What's your percent on that?
So I got 11% on that. And it's because I answered the question of if I like pain. I don't like to be dominated, but I do like pain. So I think that put a submissive twist on it.
Yeah, that's actually, you know what? That's why I say these tests are not foolproof. You know what I'm saying?
No. I got 18%.
And here's the deal. It depends on who you are. It depends on what you like, you know, and it depends on who you're playing with. Because a lot of times I just took this very general, like from a work standpoint. If I'm in a dungeon, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm in a dungeon, this is what it looks like. If I'm connecting with someone, it might be something different, you know? Okay.
This said a lot about my switch nature because kinky sex takes precedent and everything else in between is around the same percentile.
Right.
So overall, I like creativity, not necessarily a role.
So you got 11% in submissive. Sasha, what did you get?
Submissiveness, I got 18%.
All right. So I got 9. Part of your sexual personality is submissive. This means that you prefer a partner who calls the shots in the bedroom, someone who initiates sex, takes control, and leads the way. It can also mean that you enjoy being physically dominated by your partner and or mentally dominated by them. Now, I know why I got 9%, because no. Because no, and nah. Like, you have to be a special individual for me to be like, yes, tie me up. No,
Take me. Free her. Yes.
See, but here's the thing, Kane. I agree with you because there's a piece of me that does like pain with the right partner, right? Yeah. So I was kind of going back and forth with that, as Kane did, but he answered the other direction. He got more of a percentage. So, I mean, I don't really think that defines you as where you fall in the kink community. What do you think, Kane?
No, hell no.
Hell no, huh?
Hell to no.
All right. So we're not going to spend too much time on that because we have a video. If y'all don't know about it, I'll put the link in the description box below after this live on what it is to be a submissive. Okay. We got a live, we got a video.
We did good with that game, guys.
Okay, so vanilla sex is the last one I want to touch on because we are all kinksters, so I really want to know everyone's percent. Okay, I got 7.
7.
I got 8.
8. See, we're all low in this vanilla sex stuff. Okay, so a high vanilla sex score indicates that you are sexually satisfied by what is considered standard or conventional sex. A high score in this dimension means that you can have deeply pleasurable sex without needing something kinky to get off. A low score means that you need variation and kinkier sex in order to be sexually satisfied. Now, I'm not going to talk about the tools in this one. Mm-hmm. I want to know from my crew, do you believe in that statement? Miss Sasha, we'll kick it off with you first.
Okay, so it depends.
Right. Okay.
It definitely depends. I'm such a switch. So like getting a straight answer for me, it's like pulling teeth. It's like pulling teeth.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So
it really just depends on the situation.
Okay. And Kane, what do you think? What do you think on the statement? Like, if you got a low score, it means you need variation and kinkier sex in order to be sexually satisfied. If you got a high score,
this contradicts itself. And so it says a high score indicates that you're sexually satisfied by standard or conventional sex. Now, defining standard or conventional sex is something like, okay, so if you need variety. So if you were talking about, oh, you need to do something special in order to achieve orgasm or get off, then what's to say that somebody who just does that one position, say it's not necessarily a standard or normal variation, but what if they just immediately jump to their position that, helps them achieve orgasm quicker? That becomes their standard, that becomes their norm. They reduce the variety because they know what works for them. So saying that, vanilla sex is based on a lower score, needing more variety. Sometimes, people enjoy variety. Sometimes people know what gets them off and don't need to vary very far from, what they know works for them.
That's a really good explanation. And that's like, I was really looking to hear, like, if somebody didn't say that, that's what I was going to say. That was perfect. So, it doesn't necessarily mean that. I mean, you can take all the tests in the world and get different results, but we took this test just to kind of get the juices flowing. Okay. So if you're new to the community, this helps you kind of understand where you might fall. If you're old to the community, hey, maybe things have changed. You know what I'm saying? What you think, what you like, what you don't, and maybe you haven't sat down and evaluated that. So, I mean, definitely interesting. But Kane, I know you got some stuff to talk about. We gonna take another test?
Good game, you guys. That was good.
That was good.
Yeah, I actually do got another test. And so first of all, that was really fun. Getting to know, just taking a test together and talking about it. We always have a good time. We always go off the rails. So, that's what we're about. But if you took that test with us, and if that gave you any more of an idea of what your sexual preferences are, as far as, like what variety or anything, then hey, then we took a little sorting hat, we figured out, divergent style, exactly where you fit in within, where you would try to enter into a kink or BDSM style, community.
Right.
But there's no right or wrong answer. There's no test that you're ever going to take that's going to give you, hey, this is exactly what you need to do. It'll get you off in 45 seconds or your money back. So, there's always that to consider.
A get off guarantee.
Yeah.
Yes, a get off guarantee. Hashtag that.
Get off guarantee.
They would be coming up with some hashtags. Y'all.
I guarantee it.
Oh my God. Yeah, that one's got me cracking up. I'm going to have to write that one down. All right. So that was fun, and if you didn't have fun, then, oh, well, that's you. There's no right or wrong way to play. And so as long as you have consent, there's no limits to, what kind of exploration you're going to engage in. But all kinds of exploration should be within the limits of your boundaries. And so have you ever noticed how many catch-22s there are associated with kink and BDSM? Explore within your boundaries. As long as you have consent, you can do anything. So yeah, well, I mean, we'll probably have a Patreon or probably a whole just SafeWord live about all the, back and forth, the double dutch we play when we get into, kink and BDSM. But for now, that was a great start. But I've got another test for us. Okay. So that was a very beginner, very vanilla kind of style test. It asked a couple generic, broad, open-ended questions that were easy to answer. Hopefully you didn't feel too shy or nervous about being honest with this test. And if so, we have another SafeWord live about that. So re-go through our videos and where we talk about the maturity level associated with entering into this community.
Yes.
But in the off chance that you're not new to this and you're watching our show, we hope we entertain you and we hope we get a lot of the information correct and you don't want to fight us or comment or be negative. So, and if you do, I'm right here.
Just be nice.
Kid said, I'm right here.
He'll take it. Just be nice to me, okay? They already mean enough to me.
Yeah, we got that covered. So nobody picks on my little sister but me, goddammit.
Oh, hey now.
All right. So on the off chance, again, like we said, that you're a veteran and possibly you're looking for a new tool to master and, Googling online, trying to find a tester, somehow you landed on our page. Like, how are these guys going to help me figure out a new tool? Well, explore, find your likes and dislikes. It's as simple as that. Exploration. And just like what Sasha said, it's all about exploration, and if Sasha ain't the only one who said it, it's not even the only time we've said it tonight. So
it's been going on for weeks.
But speaking of tools, SafeWord, we like to give you guys tools so that way you guys know where to go, what's the right direction you guys want to head. So we're going to help you guys get started. I've got another fun test that we're going to do. And we're going to do it the same style where one of us is going to screen share. We're going to read through it, take it. We'll drop the link in the description below so that way you guys can take it with us.
It's already there.
Sweet. I've been super excited. I'm like, ooh, yay. I already have mine loaded. I'm ready.
So I've got like several tests lined up. So when you screen share, I'll figure out which web link it is and I'll pull it up too. But let's try to see if we can get some creative juices flowing. Maybe we might even think outside the box a little bit, or maybe you just need to think about the box only. So this isn't a kink Bible. This isn't, again, there is no get yours guarantee where we're going to tell you exactly where to go, what test to take, and based upon the answers that you give on your personality at this given moment, is going to tell you exactly what you're looking for and how to get there and exactly what you're going to do. There's no step-by-step instructions. Like we said again and again and again, if you're keeping count, we're probably at about 6 now. Exploring is going to be your best bet into finding, what works for you.
Yeah.
Right.
So you might have an idea, you might try it, might not like it. Something you might not think is all that great, give it a whirl. You might find that it's the best thing in the world. So as before, we're going to drop that link. Aurora's already done it.
Yep,
so
already done it. So
we're going to have
share.
I'm going to take a 5-second moment of silence to make sure everybody gets there.
We're there.
But not everybody else is.
Roy said he's finished. He took the test already. He's finished.
Oh, thank God he referenced the test.
All right.
Right? I finished.
All right. So if you're watching, take this along with us. And I'm going to pull it up now that I know where we're going.
And then I'm going to have you read the questions this time, Kane. All right?
Why?
Because you read so well. You're so eloquent in your verbiage. You are so eloquent in your verbiage, and I'm tired of reading. Okay, so read.
All right. So number 1 with the bad animation.
A now. Get it, boy. A.
Like, man, you're gonna lose circulation in that arm so quick.
Right?
All right. Do you like the feeling of being restrained or restraining someone? Yeah. These questions are gonna irritate us.
Well, yes, and they're very basic. So think about it on a level of almost like
we overthink everything.
Right. Be in a placing for this test, be in a placing instead of being with a partner that you're connecting with.
Okay.
Cool? All right.
Does the thought of forcing someone or being forced to spread the genitals and arms excite you?
And y'all are gonna see my answers.
All righty. What about a toy that's worn as a symbol that the person is someone's little bitch?
Someone's a little beep.
Yes, I'm getting horny thinking about that. No, there's no need for that.
And what are you guys saying to that? I really want to know what people are saying. Well, okay, crew. What about a toy that's worn as a symbol that the person is someone's little beep?
If me personally, I don't really feel that there's a need for that. If somebody's into looking at it as like, oh, I want to show an ownership, then, I leave that up to their discretion, but it's not something that I've ever really enforced.
Yeah, no, it's not a need for it.
So the reason that I have yes is because I require my subs to wear something that makes them belong. If you've made it to the point that you're my sub and not a trainee, you gonna belong. Okay, so Go ahead,
All
Mr.
right.
K.
Which do you prefer most? Impact play, tease and denial play, or humiliation play? I am going with impact play because that is my tool of preference.
Yeah, you already know.
Tease and denial. I could be a tease sometimes.
Tease? You got that tease and denial play. Hey.
Sometimes, just a little
Whoa,
bit.
why is Willy Wonka on here? The suspense is terrible. I hope it will last.
I don't like that reference in this at all. Not at all. Moving right along past this picture. What do you say? You like what?
What are you talking about?
You should not be on a kink page, a kink test.
I'm sorry.
No,
if you think Pure
Mr.
Imagination was
Wonka
about a
in this
candy,
test is not
was
doing
about a
it.
Candyland, you're messed in the head.
Look, I just want to believe that, okay?
Okay, so
okay, go ahead.
Do you like to be kept in suspense?
Hell yeah, surprise me, bitch, or no, I don't.
Hell yeah, surprise me, bitch.
I like to generate the suspense. I don't like to be kept in suspense.
Right.
I like suspense.
Right. I don't want the suspense.
I do.
Who is ready? Let's get vulnerable. Go ahead, Mr.
What is your idea of a vulnerable position? Tied and bound, with the genitals exposed, with one or two senses hindered.
Oh, that's easy for me.
Yeah, sensory deprivation.
Sensory deprivation all the way for the win. For real. Because even if you get somebody that's like new to this, like sensory deprivation will make them correct.
Sensory.
Why are there kids on that? Okay.
That's what I said. Wonka did it for me. Okay, come on now. Let's
all right. What's the best way to train a sub with
my
discipline?
childhood?
A bit of spanking never hurt anyone. Leave them immobile. Force them to expose their genitals. Whoever wrote this test had a huge fascination with just genital exposure.
Right? Exactly. They were into that. That was their fetish.
Oh God. Yeah, a bit of spanking never killed anybody.
I like to leave my subs immobile. Especially if you've been bad. You just hang there for a while. I'll be back. When? I don't know. You won't either. All right. Go ahead and read the next question there.
Are you ready to find out which S&M equipment is right for you?
Yes, duh. All right. So y'all can see mine. I'm going to go up like this though. Because Kane, I want you to read yours.
I got mouth gags and blindfolds.
Me too.
Okay. Ooh, okay. So Kane, go ahead and read the description on that one.
All right. Mouth gags are used for shutting up that Jesus. Screams of pain are going to come out as whimpers and sounds of pleasure and going to come out as moans with the mouth gag on the mouth. Whoever wrote this, English was not their first language.
Right.
Imagine the saliva dripping off the mouth of the sub as the dom gives out as punishment. And it was also apparently sexist. Blindfolds, on the other hand, are used for hindering the sense of sight. It keeps the sub in suspense as she waits for the next command or punishment of the dom.
Okay.
Okay, so how much do you agree with that, Kane? And then tell me some tools of play that might, and don't give me a whole list because Miss Sasha got the same thing. I'm gonna ask her too.
Right.
So again, full disclaimer, none of these are going to be the end all be all or anything. They're kind of fun for us to take, and it gives us an opportunity to bring you guys some information and express our opinions. Like this one. I don't think mouth gags are just primarily used for shutting up a sub. Mouth gags can be used for a variety of different reasons. There's different types of mouth gags for different types of play. So if you're using a mouth gag for the sole purpose of, restricting the ability to speak, then all right, to each their own, but you're definitely not utilizing these tools to the full extent of their capability because there's so much more that goes with each tool. I mean,
so many concepts that can be implemented.
Oh yeah. Like you've really got to tap into your creativity to figure out just how best to use different tools in different ways to create different effects. On the other hand, blindfolds, I definitely agree. There's only a couple of ways to use a blindfold properly, and it's mostly used for sensory deprivation. And I do like experimenting with sensory deprivation just because it's incredible to see how the human body reacts when they're expecting pleasure, receive pain, or don't necessarily know exactly what to expect. And any little thing can create a reaction that's out of the norm. So being blindfolded, you might expect one thing, you get a slight brush up against your leg, and because it was unexpected, because you don't know what's happening, because you don't know what's happening next, Jesus, what are you doing?
They can't see me. Gosh.
She's like,
gosh, they can't see me.
You are not invincible. We've seen all that.
Good Lord. Just like got a whole gallon jug of moonshine over there.
No, that was a gallon jug of apple juice, dang it.
It looked like you had a gallon of moonshine.
Look here. It's apple juice.
Okay.
Apple juice.
Hands up, don't shoot. We just thought we didn't know. We had to ask because we care.
Just in case y'all didn't see what the heck I was doing, because you all didn't have to let anybody know the priviness of what I was doing behind the scenes. Okay, my screen was not up. Go ahead, Mr. K.
Oh no, you get to wash me out and make me talk and expose me like in positions that I don't want to necessarily be in. I'm gonna bring up when you pull up a whole jug of moonshine, call it apple juice, and think you're fooling anybody.
It was apple juice. It's innocent.
It's apple juice.
That's good. No. Anyways, go ahead, brother.
No, like I said, if you're using a blindfold for sensory deprivation, there's only so far that you can really take that. Sensory deprivation is really fun. I highly recommend it. However, I don't really feel that they took the consideration of how much impact play I incorporated into this test. So why I got ball gags and blindfolds, is up to the algorithm that I don't understand. So
okay, Miss Sasha, you got something to add to that? I'm gonna need you to tell me you got ball gags and all that. So so what tools of play fall into that? Real quick, Mr. Kane, I need you to give me one personal tool or toy you would use personally in that section.
Ooh. I really got to go with the silk wrap for sensory deprivation, only because like a blindfold only covers the eyes, but I really like being able to restrict hearing and sight at the same time. Ooh. And putting on a regular blindfold and earmuffs looks a little weird. It's so much funner with a silk tie and wrapping it around a couple times.
Oh, that's nice. I never even thought of that. That was creative. Okay. All right, Miss Sasha. So give me some toys and some stuff and some tools that you would use in this, and then give me your favorite or your own personal toy that you would use in this situation.
Okay, so I would say like a long scarf, like Kane said in one of my videos, that I had a really long scarf. Just a step beyond Mr. Kane, it could be used for multiple things. It could be used for a little bit of pressure. If it's done right, it could be done for blindfolding. It could be like restraining wrists at the same time. So yes, that's definitely, I'll claim that one. I'll claim that answer. And then the ball gag, I would say that when I'm feeling a little bit more domineering or in my dom role, I would definitely
using
say the
on
ball
someone
gag.
else. Or using
it on someone else.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Yep. I wouldn't take. No. That's not.
No.
No. But I will definitely, when I'm feeling more domineering, I would say yes, that is an appropriate tool.
Nice. Okay.
Yes. So what about you, Miss Roya?
I got something different from the SafeWord crew here. You got rope, handcuffs, shackles, and bed restraints. All of these toys are great for binding the sub in bed and keeping them immobile. They strip your sub of their movement and heighten their feeling of arousal. They know they're under the complete mercy of their dom, and they love it that way. Some rope tying techniques can be really elaborate, but if you're new to BDSM, you can stick to the simple binding techniques. Handcuffs are usually made from stainless steel, leather, or fabric. Some handcuffs come with chains, which force the wearer to move only as far as the chain allows. Now, I think that this test
I've never understood a chain to do anything but that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I think this test for me hit it right on the head. Like just the only thing they're missing, all they're missing is something to whip somebody with or inflict pain with. Down to knife play. I mean, I do that too. Fire play, all of it. But where I start is rope, handcuffs, shackles, and bed restraints. So for me personally, I don't like rope. I can honestly say I don't like rope in the basic sense. I want to learn shibari. So let me just make that very clear. I don't know shibari. Shibari is an art form. It takes a lot of training. I want to learn it. And it's an art form. It really is. There's beautiful, intricate ties with that. But let's see. One of the tools that I would use, honestly, is like a leg spreader and handcuffs. And leave somebody there.
Did you write this test?
No, I did not. Why?
Loki looks like you posing in the picture
genital
like
exposure. I like to leave them there with their genitals exposed.
Well, no, not necessarily that. It depends on the sub, but real talk, if I'm being very honest, positioning is a big thing for me. And contrary to popular belief, missionary position is a major thing for me, because here's the deal. You're submitting, you're laying back, you're opening your legs. It's total power exchange for me, instead of like, oh, I'm just bending over a couch, or I'm just blah, or I'm doing this crazy.
There's no fun in that.
So when you're giving it all, and you're willing to do that, obviously with consent, I like to tie someone up, leave them there, and they think they're getting something, and I'm like, I'll be back. I don't know when. That's part of the sensory, the denial.
Me, I just say no.
So outside of having some kind of impact play involved in that, that's where I would sit. I would say that test did me well. Did me well. So these are just really good ways to get your creativity going, right? And to help you explore the different types of tools and what you can do with them. But really, in conclusion, it's all about where your limits lie. So what your likes are, what your dislikes are, regardless of how you identify within the kink community, dom, sub, switch, rope bunny, whatever it is, okay? Whatever you identify with, the biggest key factor being that you are willing to, what, crew?
Explore.
Yes, exactly. And possibly learn something new. So as long as you're willing to learn and get the appropriate training with these tools, that's what this community is about. One thing that definitely needs to be mentioned is that if you are picking out a new toy, please, if you do not know how to use that toy, don't be afraid to ask. If you're purchasing it from a sex store, you can ask the people that work there. If the people that work there go, I don't know, it's just in the back, then there's tons of resources online to
reach
show
out
you
to us, reach out to someone else online.
Right.
Look up kink online.
Information. There's definitely information. So if you don't know how to use them, don't be afraid to ask or get training on how to use these things. So before we end this, because yes, this live is coming to an end, but before we end, okay, I have a question for my crew. So crew, can you give me a new favorite toy you may have either wanted to learn, okay, or maybe learning at this point in time, or looking to get training on, or is there something that is new but becoming a favorite? Okay, so Kane, here's the deal. You can't say feathers. Okay, you can't. It's just like no, you gotta pick something else new. Okay, I can't say floggers because we all know floggers was in the package. Okay, floggers. Okay, I can't say floggers. Miss Sasha's been all over the place, so
I'm always all over.
Right, I'm not restricting her from nothing. So, crew, tell me a favorite toy if you're looking to train on it, or if you already knew how to use it and why this is the tool for you. So, Kame, we are going to start with you.
So something that I've actually been really eager to experiment with, and believe it or not, it's really hard to find somebody who's down to even be, subjected to this, but is electrostimulation. I've always been fascinated with, like how electrostimulation affects the body, what it does during sex, what it does for pleasure, what it does for pain, things like that. So I would say that it's something that I'm really not so much eager to jump right into. I definitely want to do a lot of research. I definitely want to get, expert training, from somebody who's done it before, just so that way, I mean, I think I have a very good understanding of where certain things can go, like certain limits that can be, reached or pushed. But I still want to figure out or pick somebody's brain who'd be like, oh no, don't ever do this. Like, I would have never thought not to try that. So
I'm trained on it. I can teach you.
That's cool.
I've got a set of violet wands. Go ahead. All right, Mr. Kim, was that all that you had to say on that piece? Or is that the only one?
For now, yeah, it's the one that's piquing my interest the most right now. I mean, I've dabbled in knife play. There's a certain craft and expertise that's associated with that, but it's also, again, has a lot to do with exploration. You're going to find your do's, your don'ts. You're going to find your things that work, your things that don't. So, along those lines, like I said, the one that's piquing my interest the most right now is electrostimulation, just because I read something that says there's only about 4 or 5 masters within the US. So it'd be kind of cool to get in that top 10.
Yeah, exactly. Have that badge. All right, Miss Sasha, give me a new favorite toy if you're looking to train on it, or if you knew how to use it and why it is the tool for you.
So a toy that is piquing my interest right now is floggers. I would love to learn the art form because I think I'm already familiar. I've played with them a couple times and I think I have a natural rhythm with them.
You do.
So, so I would definitely like to elaborate on that. And that is something that I want to incorporate in my repertoire. It's out of my wheelhouse, but the more and more I'm becoming versed in the community, the more and more I'm embracing the multifaceted kerfuffle that I am. Like, it is what it is, but I'd rather understand all the facets that I have. So at least I have a general understanding of what I want to do, because I want to do it all. So
there we go. I like that answer.
Yes.
Bloggers. All right. So for me, there are 3. Okay. And they're three very top things for me. The first thing is bullwhips. And you know who I'm going to for that one right there. This one is trained. Mr. Kane is trained on a bullwhip.
I'm not ready. I'm too aggressive for a bullwhip.
Well, and here's the thing. I know I'm going to smack my face. I know I'm going to cut myself open, but I'm willing to do it. Like there's a little bit of that, I like receiving pain. And if I'm giving it to myself because I effed up, let's do it. So you guys, if you're joining the Patreon, you will see training between Kane and I, and probably me whacking the hell out of myself on the bullwhip.
I'm going to learn anyway, just because I have to.
I love the sound it makes. It's like, it's so much better than a freaking flogger. Like, it's just like, that's like,
or paddle.
It's the weight, the anticipation. There's a whole pause before you hear that.
Or even just the grazing, just to hear the.
Yeah, so whoosh. Like, I have watched Kane work a bullwhip and have just been like, and not just turned on by him, but turned on by the damn bullwhip. I'm just like,
Well, I've seen movies. I've seen movies where you see people strung up, but then you hear it and it's going around them, and you hear it crack by you. Yeah, and it's like, okay,
so. Like, I don't want it done to me, but I want to do it to somebody. Okay. So the other thing that I really want to learn, which I already talked about tonight in this live, is shibari, rope tying, because there's an art form. It is freaking beautiful. And there's rules to it, like where the knots go. They sit on certain pressure points. And those pressure points can create orgasmic feelings, just like Tantra. You know what I'm saying? So I'm heavy into Tantra. Shibari is something that I want to learn next. I'm trying to find somebody. So if you know shibari, reach out, click hello. I want to learn. Okay. So there's that. And then this is kind of an off kilter one. We were going to do it in Vegas, but we didn't get to it. Most DOMs do not step into latex. Most DOMs don't. At least old school DOMs. Old school DOMs don't step into latex. I'm sorry. Like, no. But I want to experience it and see what the freaking hype is about. Like, let me step into it. Let me get sweaty, put the baby powder on, all that, and figure out what it is. Yes. Why? Like, what is it? Because I mean, I can honestly say that, like, when you put on a swim cap or something like that, and the feeling on the outside, that's kind of cool. So what would happen if
restrictions while being restricted?
Right. So like, that's kind of stepping into like the role of what my sub is going through.
Doming and subbing at the same time.
Right. So I kind of want to have experienced that. So join the Patreon, because Miss Sasha is pushing this one for me to step into some latex. You want to see a Dom in some latex, like full body suit, baby powder? It's going down. It's going down on one of our travel series. So if you guys want to see that, definitely join the Patreon. These were all really good, topics of conversation, kind of get your creativity going, and hopefully give you a little peek at under the veil as to what the SafeWord hosts are into, or what we're going to be trying to get into. But really, in conclusion, it's just about, exploring. And I hate to keep saying that, but really, like, if you listen to all of us, we're veterans in this. At least Kane and I are. Sasha keeps trying to say she's new to this. She ain't new. So we're all veterans in this, right? We all veterans. Okay. And as you can see, there's always something else to learn. There's always something else to explore. There's levels to this. So, I mean, be it new, be it old, explore. Okay. But if you'd like to know the how-tos on just how to use these tools, then join us on our Patreon after this, so that we can take a deep dive. We're going to use Sasha's word, a deep dive, right, on these tools of play and how to use them. Okay. We'll be answering questions like if there is a danger involved with using tools, and just what you should know before running out and purchasing these tools. We'll also give some like tips and tricks, and a little bit of like where you might be able to buy these tools for every budget, like not, just high end and hey, here, go to Bad Dragon. We're going to give you some
tips
and
options tricks for where you fit in too.
Right. So I'll put the Patreon link in the description box below. And I'll drop it in the comment section as well, so that you guys can see and join. And if you're not a member, please join, because that's where we give you all of our uncensored, unfiltered, half the time through this. Right. Half the time through this YouTube live. Kane did it a couple times where he's like, how do I put this with a censor? Right. So, join us on the Patreon where we can speak freely. Yeah. Okay.
Where we're not being professional.
But for tonight, that is it. So, Kane, would you like to take us out? If you want to join more and hear us talk, join our Patreon. Okay, go ahead, Kane.
All right. So before I take us out, I definitely want to read this, because when you said baby powder and latex, I have a mentor that actually watches these with us, and they sent me a personal message saying, no, baby powder and latex do not mix.
Right. Yeah.
Dryness is not your friend when it comes to latex. Lubrication is. So baby oil, coconut oil, things like that, in order to give a gentle glide rather than the friction of dryness. So Miss Sasha, come on now. You should have stopped her.
What I do?
You're the one who wants to get her in latex. You should have stopped her when she said baby powder.
See, this is why we have to take the deep dive, and you have to tune in, because I have to train.
But let me add to this. Baby powder goes on the outside. It creates a texture. It creates a feeling. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, you're talking about slipping into them. So. All right. That's it that we have for YouTube tonight. We hope everybody enjoyed. I know you guys, you guys can't get enough. So come over to the Patreon, hang out with us for a little bit longer. You'll like it. You want to. Give it a shot. Give it a try. If it's not for you, what's the harm? What did it do? Hey.
You just saw us. You just saw more of us because you like seeing it.
All right. But for now, thank you so much, YouTube. Thank you so much for everybody that joined in with us tonight. If you came over from Instagram, thank you so much. And we hope to be seeing you guys again soon. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, give us a buzz, blow us up. We're eager to hear from you guys. But you know what it is. It's the weekend. All of you freaks, kinks, and all you party planners. Go out, have fun, remember your safe word, and always, always